Hello. We have just gone past the 27th of May, and that means it is time for another update. I stopped buying clothes. I had to check back on the year. This is a 5-year update. So 5 years ago, I realised that I was making a lot of my own clothes. Fast fashion is really bad for the planet and for people and everything, so I decided I was gonna stop buying clothes and just make anything that I needed. So I've been doing an update every year since then, and this is year 5, which feels pretty insane, but it feels weird to think that I ever bought clothes in some ways. So what reflections have I got? How's my relationship with my wardrobe changed? Kind of what's going on. So first question that I always ask is, what did I buy over the year? Did I slip? Did I get nothing? And the answer is 3 t-shirts. So I think I mentioned in the last update that I was going to go and see Iron Maiden. Whenever I go and see them, I get the tour shirt. So I got the 2 t-shirts from that, and no regrets. That's like my exception. If I go and see Iron Maiden live, then I'll go and buy a tour shirt. I have a lot of Iron Maiden t-shirts now, and I have no regrets for it. I think it's quite a nice thing to collect. And I'm not buying other band t-shirts, and considering how many gigs I go to, I could probably buy like 50 to 70 t-shirts a year if I bought one at every gig that I went to. So very restrained effort, I think. And the other one was a t-shirt at a gig. I went to a festival called Punks Against Cancer at the start of this month, and I wanted to buy some merch to support. So the ticket sales and all of the merch and the raffle stuff all went to Macmillan Cancer. I wanted to buy something. I asked if I could get a keyring or a tote bag or anything like that, and the only thing they had for sale was t-shirts, so I bought a t-shirt, which also not regretting. And interestingly, part of my thought process was that I wanted to remember the event, and I wanted to wear the t-shirt in 5 and 10 years time, which I thought was quite an interesting thought. I've not thought that way about clothing before, really, but I was really thinking about the longevity of it, and that I wanted to have it in my wardrobe for a long time, and I wanted the 2026 label on it to be far in the past, like some of the other pieces that I've got. I've got things that say 2008 or 2009 on them, and I like that was 18, 19 years ago. Sorry for everyone, I just made me feel old in the audience. So that's what I bought. My best, just thinking about in the car, my best year, I bought nothing, and I think last year I bought nothing. And my worst years, I bought 5 things. So I'm still very, very far below the average, and I've never bought more than 5 things in a year since I've been doing this. I think it was kind of maybe February or kind of early last year. I made a video called "My Knitting is Becoming a Problem," and that was the case. I've become such a machine of productivity when it comes to knitting that if I'm just making garments for myself, I'm ending up in this excessive situation, because I could probably easily make myself 10 jumpers in a year if I wanted to, and that is more jumpers than a person needs just by itself, and year on year and years that sort of thing just kind of accumulates. And people say oh yeah, clothing wears out, but in years and decades you knit a nice quality jumper by hand, and then you sew up the little holes and stuff, you can get a long time out of that. So definitely at some stupid rates of accumulation, and sewing even faster. You can make yourself a t-shirt in a day. So one of the things I did last calendar year was try and do a lot of work making things for other people. So I tried to shift my crafting focus, and well, this is a slightly different time frame to what I'm looking at specifically, but like January to December 2025, like last year, I made 122 items. I definitely made more than that, but that's the amount I counted off Facebook because I was posting everything that I made. I made 122 items, and I like measured out. I did like all of the stats on how much I made for myself, how much I made for other people, whether stuff was commissioned because I opened up commissions last year. Whether stuff was commissioned, whether I gifted it away, whether it was like for me, whether I sold it, anything like that. So less than 50% of stuff was for me, and only around 50% of it was knitted. Everything else was done with some other craft. So that was really cool. That was my intention, was to lean more into doing like other crafts. This year I've spent quite a lot of time doing painting as well. I'm still knitting. I still knit every day and quite a lot, and I'm still a machine. But the process of leaning more into other crafts and leaning more into making stuff for other people really helped that, like making stuff for myself. Like just the rate has slowed down. The other way that I get new clothes into my wardrobe is sewing, and guys, this year I completed sewing. Like, I told my friend that, and he was like, "You maxed out your XP," and it's like, I did. I've maxed out my XP for sewing. I kind of hit the pinnacle of sewing, and I made jeans. So I posted up the part one and of me like patterning out trousers, and I made some trousers for myself, and they're nice, they're great, they fit well. And then I was like, I'm gonna have another go, I'm gonna do a part two, and then like I just had like a massive load of nonsense happen at the end of last year, and it was all quite a lot. So I did make, I finished that off by making like a pair of trousers from the pattern that I'd made, like a fitted jean, and they fit perfectly. So like for the October work that I did, I made a pair of orange jeans. I just made them off camera. Which means like there is no item of clothing that I might want for myself that I cannot make. Like, I can make jeans, I've made suits, I've made dresses, I've made skirts, I've made socks and t-shirts, and like anything that I could possibly want. I feel confident in my ability to make it, even if not perfect. Like, I know how, and I can, and I have. Like, even going weird, like making ballet slippers and sandals and stuff like that, like even really sort of quite unusual items, I'm feeling pretty confident on. So the way that I am challenging myself now is to start making clothes for other people sewn. So I've been knitting them for other people for a little bit. I make stuff for Bestie. She's had a few pieces off me. Just I started knitting something and looked and was like, oh, that's for Gina. So I gave her a little vest top and stuff. But I haven't really been doing the sewing for other people. So I made a skirt for somebody the other week. I've been making some armour for my friend, like Gua style stage armour. And so I'm like part way through that. I'm gonna have a go at making a jacket for another friend. So I've got their measurements and things. So yeah, I'm just having a go at making things for other people. I'm gonna make Hannah a little vest top. Paint a design on it, because that's the next challenge, make stuff for some different bodies. But yeah, it's really exciting to think that I can just make whatever I want. Like, and you always can, but like, yeah, it's nice to think that there's nothing on the list that I feel like I want that I don't have. And like my only other reflection for this update on how I feel about my wardrobe is I feel like I've got a finite stock of clothes now, but also that's a really good thing. Like, I'm feeling much more in like an abundance mindset than a scarcity mindset, which I think a lot of people talk about sort of with modern reflections on items and gathering them. But like, I put some pockets on some skirts. I've been focusing a lot more on modifying and upgrading clothing. So either stuff that's stuff that I've made, like correcting mistakes that I've made or adjusting things to make it better, or things that I bought, or things that I've bought modified a little bit and I'm modifying some more. So I've been kind of focusing on doing that a little bit more. And so I put some pockets in some skirts and dresses, and like one time when I did that, I realised that if I wanted to do the thing that Morgan Donner had done in one of her videos for like putting pockets in all of her skirts and dresses that didn't already have them, that was like a finite task that I could do, because every time like I make a skirt or a dress, I put pockets in it if I'm making it from scratch. And like, I'm not buying new things, so there's like a limited number of skirts and dresses that I own that don't already have pockets. So if every time I come across one that doesn't, I add pockets to it, like, eventually they will all be done. Because if you... it sounds really weird, it's like, it's a finite task. So... And that's true for, like, all of my clothes. Because I'm not bringing new things in, I am just working with what I've already got. It means that I can invest more in those pieces of clothing. So I can modify them like they're mine. And if I want to extend the pockets down, I can. And so I could have a wardrobe where every pair of jeans has got the right size pockets, like every skirt and every dress is like correct, everything fits correctly, everything. And like, if it doesn't, I can modify it until it does, and like change it and adjust it. And like, that feels pretty cool. That feels like a next level extreme grandma skill type thing of like, someone come up to me and be like, oh yeah, Sarah, she knows how to do this, she's really clever with that sort of thing, like all of her stuff looks great. So that's an exciting thing to reflect on. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think that's pretty much it. Like, not buying clothes is so routine for me at this point. I feel no temptation to. It feels like a thing that I don't do. Like, if I go into a clothing shop, it's like, because I don't drink alcohol, so when I go into a clothing shop, I feel the same as when I go into like the alcohol section in Sainsbury's. Like, this isn't for me. Like, what am I doing down here? Why are all these things on the shelves? I don't need them. So it feels very much like that. Like, this is just a thing that's for other people now, which is cool. It's nice to be able to step out of the normal standard way of doing things and do something in a way that works better for me. So yeah, that's it. That's my update. I'm making things for other people to stop trying to add to my wardrobe. I am modifying and updating things that I already have. And I bought 3 t-shirts. So I'm not going to Edfest this year. I'm Maiden Are Playing, the big festival thingy. I have not bought any tickets to like go and see or do anything like that. So I suspect I will not be buying an Iron Maiden t-shirt this year, and we will see if I can do another year of 0. Fingers crossed. I'll make more videos between now and then, but for this one, see you in year 6.